Hi there, welcome back to Made by Granat. We are here today and we are continuing our work on the ideas journal, the big book of ideas. And I'm so frustrated because I filmed this. You have seen part one, I filmed part two, and when I tried to edit it and upload it, it was corrupt. So I'm gonna have to talk you through what I did, because this I cannot rewind and do again. So what I did, since you last saw this book, is that I made 5 holes, then I added 5 eyelets, top and bottom. Then I took out my elastic thread, and I only have pink and blue, so I thought pink would be better for this one. And I wanted to have what I have done is that I sorry, I just can't speak today. I took my elastic thread, I threaded it in this hole, or through here, up again, down here, down in here, up again, and down, and then I knotted it, and then I did the same here on this side. So we have 2 holes that are tied together. And that's when I realized that when you have threads, when you don't sew in your signatures but you have the traveler's notebook style, you shouldn't have uneven numbers. I should have had 6, because I had to do some. This one, the 5th, I didn't want it to go on the outside. I could have done it even on the outside, but I didn't want to. So I had to start it. I think I started it here. Yes, I knotted it onto the other one. And then I pulled it through and up again in this hole. And then up here and down and out and up again in this hole. And then I knotted it like this. And that's not very pretty. And it's gonna annoy me. But I can't get another hole in. Oh, I'm so sorry. Whew. Seasonal allergies. I beg your pardon. I just had to sneeze. Well, so that's what I have done. I added the eyelets, I added the elastic ribbons or elastic threads. And from this side, I don't like, I would have had 6, so that I didn't have this and that. But it's okay. It's just my idea book. But if I ever do it again, I would not do this. And if you still haven't made your holes, make an even number, just saying. So that is something that I highly recommend. Traveler's notebook style, even number of signatures. Just a sip of coffee. Delicious. So next up is the signatures, and of course I started making these as well. I'm just gonna show you what I did. I have, because these are the pages from the original text block, and they are not very sturdy, and when you put them in, they're gonna get torn a bit, top and bottom. I have cut them down because they won't fit, the original size wouldn't fit, because the threads and the eyelets make it, you lose about 1.5 centimeters, so I had to cut them down. And that's why I took some not heavy scrapbooking paper, quite lightweight scrapbooking paper. These are in, they were 12 by 12s in some kind of William Morris style. I found on thrifting, and the prints are not 100, but I think they will do for this. Okay, so I have taken one of these to have as the wrapping, the cover of each signature, the anchor pages. So that's my start. Then I took one folio from the original text block because I want to do that as an homage to the original book. Then I took some lined paper. I took a folio from the book that I made into the spring green journal. This is a medicinal dictionary. I took some coffee dyed or tea dyed, and this one just happened to be grid. I didn't take my best papers for this journal, okay? I had taken some craft paper, and I have taken a folio or a page from one of my big books. And that's a compilation of magazines, and I just love these, the border around them and the font. I think they're gorgeous. So that's what I want to have as one signature. And we're going to fill these with pockets and flip outs and stuff, you know, all the ideas. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages in each signature. And all of them I have put together. A little bit of variation on papers. But then I thought, once I sew these, because I'm going to sew them with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and you can take them out and working them just to make it a bit easier. Once I sew them, they won't be, you can't put anything else in. And I know that I have things that are like a page or something in the journal that I want to add. So I thought I will just sew one of these signatures with you guys. The rest of them would be like this until I decide it is time to move on to the next signature. And I don't have to sew them. I can just do like this and slide them in, I hope, and leave it like that. That's one way to do it. So I'm just going to do that. But this signature, we are actually going to add our first idea before sewing it together. How about that? And if I have more ideas that are more, you know, like a whole folio or something, I can put it in one of the other signatures. So that's good. And don't have to sew anything really, but I want to, because I can also change these signatures out whenever I like. This is like a book that will actually journal, an idea journal. This can stay with me for a long time, because when I fill one of these signatures in here, one of the tiny notebooks, I can just take it out and put it somewhere else. Yeah, that's also one idea. Don't sew them together until they're finished. When you have filled one of them, then you sew them together, and then you store them, and then you bind them into something when you're done. That's one version. But I want to add our first idea. I kind of like that. And this has, as you can see, I could put lots and lots more pages in here, and I still might. But the idea I want to add is something that I actually done. I don't know if that video is up, but anyway, you have an envelope, and you know me, I love using envelopes. And I usually just glue them together, and I open them up, and I use them as folios. I make pockets out of them. I wrap them around pages, all kind of stuff. But 507 Willow House Journal, Leslie, I believe her name is, she had the greatest idea. Something I never done before, and I want to keep that idea. So what she did is she took the envelope, she folded it like this. I'm going to take my bone folder and increase that a bit. And then she opened up both sides. And I think I'm going to just use my scissors today. I could use my cutter. But right now I'm going to use the scissors. And I don't remember exactly how she did it, but I know what I want to do. So, the reason I constantly bend it this way, turn it this way, is that this will go into the journal, like, let's put it here, like this. And you have one, oh, I'm going to have something to put there. You have one tuck spot here. Then you have one pocket, side loading pocket here. So I want to make a notch there. And the same thing on the other side. So that's like 4 places to tuck things in one signature. Isn't that great? I just loved it. And that was a way that I didn't use envelopes before. So I'm going to make the notch. The reason I hold my hand over is because this punch usually just throw the paper pieces flying everywhere. And I think I'm also going to actually decorate it a bit, because she did. And I'm going to use, I have some papers, of course. Some one-sided papers. Let's see what we want. And you can either decorate this side and leave this. I would use like a tea-dyed envelope for this, if you don't plan to cover it all. You can also journal on here. And then you could also just cover the flap. So either or. Which one do I want? It doesn't matter. Let's just take this one, because I already took it out. So I am going to decorate one of them, one of the sides, like so. Just cut it. So I want to make take my pencil and mark where I'm gonna cut it. First, I'm gonna use my Canton cutter. Cut that out. And I think I will actually do just a flap on the other side. And that way you will have one of them like this and the other one with just a flap. So it's like yin and yang or whatever. Yeah. If you hear noises, it's just my doggy. She's dreaming. She's apparently chasing something in her dream. She's lying like this and dream barking. Okay, I'm going to glue on here because I don't want to glue this shut, of course. I am using glue stick. So this is exciting. The first real idea for the ideas journal. I think it's exciting times. Let's use a little scraper to hold it down. Yes. And I think we need to cut it a little bit too wide, so I'm going to have to cut it a tiny bit. And I also want to make my notch, remake my notch. The notch. There we go. That's one of the sides finished. And you can put anything in here. And it doesn't shut because I didn't glue it here. Okay. And since you sew this in, it will be nice and secure. Both of the pockets will be, or all 4 of them. So let's, just feeling that it's not too gluey. So let's put some glue on this flap, and then we can add the paper, and I'm gonna cut it off with my scissors, the last piece. So, over the excess. And you can use anything to do this. You can use printables, you can use book pages, you can use whatever you like. And that's like the beauty of it. It's so versatile, because you know, envelopes is the thing that most junk journalers have too much of. Because when you buy pretty cards, you get envelopes. And everyone, when they realize you are a junk journaler, oh, do you want envelopes? At least that's what's happened to me. So I have so many envelopes. So I'm so happy when I find new uses for them. And then of course we want the junk mail envelopes as well, with the fancy windows. So yeah, that is really fun. Really, really fun. And I am going to write on this. So I'm just gonna get a pen, and I'm gonna write where I got the idea, because that's what you do. You always give credit where credit is due. Copy crafting is okay, but you have to give credit. So this is my take on this. Hers did not look like this. Hers were really nice and cute and pink. She loves pink, and so do I. So I'm gonna write 507 Willow House Journals on YouTube. And I'm gonna also write April 2026, because I can't remember the name of the video, and she has been doing the 100-day project, so there is one video for each day. I believe it could be a Raindrop Lila video, a small journal. If I remember, I'm going to link it in the video, in the description box below. Okay, let's see. Let's move on. So because I add this, I kind of want to actually sew this signature already, because otherwise it will just go flapping, or maybe it won't. I was gonna show you a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, but maybe I don't have to. Let me see. I'm a bit worried. Let's see what happens when we add this in. So we've put so much more in here. So far, so good. I think this is such a fun idea. And as I said, if the envelope was tea-dyed, it would be so much more fun. It wouldn't be so bright white, you know. Yeah. Okay, so I was going to show you something else. Or no, I am going to sew this in because I don't think I'm going to add more than one pocket in this, like that, or am I? I also think I'm going to date it with today's date, and or should I? No, it doesn't matter. Now I get all you know, indecisive. Oh, am I gonna add something else? Am I gonna sew it together? What do you think? Yeah, I am going to, because I feel that this is actually they're quite thin, the signatures. I could add more. I'm going to pause you guys, maybe find a couple of more pages, and then we will sew this together. Give me a second. Okay, there we go. Whew. So I got some ledger and some more book page, just to get a bit of variation in here. So where do I want the ledger then? Let's see if it might be too big. So I am actually going to just fold it up, because you never know when you might need a little bit of space to put things in. There we go. Okay, now we have a bit more heft in our signature. And this one is in. And normally I would probably put this quite far down, because I'm going to put things in it. And move that up a little bit. So I am going to use my big chunky paper clips. And as I said, we will do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I'm not gonna do much. Okay, let's measure. I could eyeball it, but my eye measurement is not always, it's off today. Let's just say that. Okay, I have my box, my sewing kit, I need my awl, I need my needles, and I need let's see, I want a white thread actually. Thought I had one open. Yes, I did. This is pre-waxed thread. I buy a thread that is normally used to bind leather goods, so it's nice and strong. Back in the days, I used to use embroidery thread, but I like the wax thread better. Okay, let's just use our ruler. This is Tim Holtz, and it's got a 0 in the center, so I'm just gonna make sure I am in the center. Which is about there. I'm gonna poke a hole, and I close it and I squeeze, and that's where you get it exactly in the center. And let's get it back, and then I want it about an inch from bottom. There we go. So I have my 3 holes, and since this is just one signature, I'm gonna sew it in like so. And I'm gonna start on the inside because I want my, what's it called? Keeping my thumb on that. I want my threads to end on the inside. Finding the hole. This is the absolute easiest way. Just going up first, I think, and then going down and through. This is the easiest way to bind a little notebook. I do this when I add little notebooks in my journals, in my pockets. Let's see. And now I want to make sure that I have one thread on. See what I did? I went through the thread. That's the one thing you should never do. So I'm glad I showed you that, because that can break the thread. But I want to make sure that I have one of the threads on each side of the middle thread, because when I now knot them, left over right and under, and right over left and under. When I now knot them, they will keep this thread down. So I'm going to leave this long because I might get filling and put some decoration on it. I haven't done that in a long time. Okay. Putting my needles back in the box and my awl and my thread. Getting the paper clips out, and let's see what we have. Okay. As you can see, we now have one signature ready, and this one won't go anywhere because we have 2 holes in it. Perfect. So we are now ready to add even more ideas into this signature. And we'll add it into the journal. And as I said, I will not sew these together until I start them, or even when I finish them. Okay, so we have lots of space, as you can see. So that was the Ideas Journal Part 2. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or just want to say hi down below, and I will say hi back and answer your questions. Until next time, I wish you all a great rest of your day. Bye for now.